welcome to this week's GeekStorm. We're going to cover some movies, some TV, and some comic books. So, well, I guess we'll get started with some movies. What movie did you see this week?
Well, first off, Sean's not here.
And we didn't introduce ourselves.
Yeah, Sean's not here. Last week I wasn't here, so it's kind of a rotating thing we're going to do for a little bit. And, you know, people have lives. We can't just revolve around this. So, Sean's not here. I'm Mike. This is April. And we're going to do the same format, though. Although this time we kind of changed it up a little bit. We saw different movies.
Yes.
Normally we go to see the same movie, but we did see different movies this time.
Right.
What did you go see?
I saw Red 2. I did not see Red. No number.
That's okay. Red, no number. Red, we don't know if there will be a sequel. That's what it should be.
Actually, I do know that there will be a Red 3, or it's already
In the works.
It was a pretty good movie. The premise was that the main character, Bruce Willis, you know, he's some hotshot,
Ex-CIA or ex-something or other.
Not really, you know, whatever the movie version is. And he's kind of framed for a project, and it turns out to be real. It's like a deadly weapon type deal.
Isn't it like Golden Girls with guns? Isn't it like old people past their prime, called back into service by my pal, owes me a favor?
Yeah, kind of. He's kind of retired,
Okay.
Getting back into it.
But
Not
we're talking about
quite
like Morgan.
Golden
We're
Girls.
talking about Morgan Freeman and Bruce Willis and John Malkovich.
Yes.
And people who are, you know, not considered today's action stars for the most
Right.
part.
Oh, and Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren,
Even.
who's extremely good looking for her age.
She is. And she was like an awesome character.
Was she?
Yeah. But anyway, so it's just them trying not to get killed,
Right.
and trying to find this weapon of mass destruction, which is red mercury. Yeah. So it's apparently undetectable.
Oh.
Like you can sneak into the White House with a backpack of it. They said in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it was good. It had some like odes to the, you know, being from a comic book in it. Like it would switch to a different frame in kind of like a freeze frame of it.
Gotcha.
And yeah, it was all right. It
Just okay.
was okay. It was kind of like
Was it worth $9?
it was entertaining. I wasn't bored,
Right.
but it wasn't like really exciting either.
Right. Because we had four movies to pick from this week, and none of us were really too excited about seeing any of the four.
Right. And I wasn't going to see The Conjuring by myself.
Conjuring looks very scary. It's my prediction that of the four movies, we're talking about The Conjuring, Turbo, which is a Pixar-type Disney movie about a snail, and then
Which is following Despicable Me Too.
Right.
So I think parents have already taken their kids to see a movie.
Yeah,
So.
it's Mom and Dad week this week. And,
Right.
Yeah. Red 2, and then the movie I saw was R.I.P.D. So of those four, I think The Conjuring is probably going to do the best box office-wise. Sean seemed to think that it'd be Red 2. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't think he thinks that after seeing
it. Well, see, but the people who go to see it, they haven't seen it yet either. So people are voting with their dollars based on trailers, you know, and based on marketing and advertising, and that's why trailers are so important. The movie I saw was R.I.P.D., which is another comic book property, but Rest in Peace Department is what it stands for. It's got Ryan Reynolds and Jeff Bridges. It was just okay also. As soon as you see the trailer, you see a direct comparison between that and Men in Black, and people are going to talk about that all day. And it was really hard to get away from that. And I was in a theater with maybe 30 people, and there were people that laughed here and there, and but no real like big gags, nothing, because it was definitely a comedy. Jeff Bridges plays an over-the-top gunslinger from the Old West who when a cop dies and they have certain skills, they decide, okay, well, instead of sending you to heaven or hell, you may be on your way to hell, so to avoid judgment, we'll bring you over to this Rest in Peace department to work for us, getting, apparently there are souls trapped on Earth that refuse to go when it's their time to go, because the system isn't designed to handle that many people.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's very much one of those, just like Men in Black, a kind of a hidden world that you don't know about, that there's all these people that need to pass on and haven't yet, and they have a creature look to them as their soul deteriorates. And Ryan Reynolds was just okay in it, but he's he's Ryan Reynolds in every single movie. In Green Lantern and Van Wilder, he plays kind of like he's channeling an 80s Chevy Chase, kind of a smart-mouthed, kind of know-it-all, and with some just one-liner after one-liner after one-liner, and I'm afraid he's going to get, probably is, typecast into that type of role. Could have put nearly anybody in there. Jeff Bridges was the only real character in the movie, you know. Everybody else seemed like they were just going off a script, and it was just okay. I would wait for Redbox or Netflix or whatever you want to do if I were you.
Okay.
Anything else on that? Any other movie news?
I don't think so.
Movie news?
I don't think so.
Okay. This week is San Diego Comic-Con, and that's where a lot of movie companies, movie studios they wait to make a lot of big announcements. So I'm sure next week we'll have a lot of things to talk about as far as stuff that's new, that little tidbits that are just released. So
Plus, we're going to see Wolverine next week.
Is Wolverine next week?
Yeah.
The Wolverine, that's kind of like the Batman. The Wolverine.
Yeah. So
hopefully it's good. We'll see.
Okay.
Then
so moving on to TV.
Television. This week we're going to talk about a show on Netflix. We've done this before in some of the older shows, but before we even talk about the show, one of the most interesting things this week that relates to this is, for the first time in the history of the Emmys, a show that wasn't on broadcast television has been nominated for an Emmy. For
These
Netflix.
Sorry, cutting you off.
That's okay.
The daytime Emmys. Usually you think of something being on general, broadcast television.
Right.
So yeah, that's what the record is, that for the first time.
These are primetime Emmys, though.
Or primetime.
It's okay. Daytime Emmys is soap operas.
Whatever. Oh, sorry.
People who want to be actors but are
That's
on
why you're here.
soap operas
So
instead.
if I screw up, you can fix it.
Yeah, first time ever.
Last week we said, why weren't you here?
Every time I was watching last week's show, yes, I watched last week's show, and every time you said, "I wish Mike was here," I was yelling the answer to the question you had. Idris Elba, the black guy the black actor in the movie you saw last week.
Now you don't even know. You had to look it up.
Right.
That's why.
No, I knew what his name was.
Whatever.
His name was Idris Elba.
Anyway, so.
First time
errors
ever.
aside.
Yeah. Netflix show called House of Cards with Kevin Spacey is a really good show. Netflix has been doing some original programming the last year or so, where they have a show produced specifically for them and won't air anywhere else, just Netflix, and they release all the episodes at once, all 13, 12, whatever episodes all at once. You can marathon them if you want. You can watch them however much you want.
And also Arrested Development.
Arrested Development came back. Used to be a network show and it came back. There was that Hemlock Grove, which was kind of a horror romantic show, and which has already been approved for a second season. And then the one we're going to talk about today, which is called Orange is the New Black. What do you think of that?
Well, hang on.
Okay.
I wasn't done with my spiel.
Oh, she's got more to talk about.
I have a spiel. So there were actually 14 nominations.
Right.
And a small bit of news for Arrested Development is that in the past week, Netflix has agreed to do a sixth
Wow, another season. Wow,
so I'm
that's awesome.
Stoked.
Well, they're really
Now we can move on.
They're really reaping the benefits of this original programming. Reaping the benefits.
Make sure you pronounce that well.
They're reaping the benefits. We'll go back on that. Last year in July, they traded it on NASDAQ. They were trading at $80 a share. This year, month in July, they're trading at $260 a share. So whether that's a direct response to this original program or not, I don't know. But a lot of people have Netflix now, and the shareholders are getting the benefit out of that, I'm sure.
Well, they have to do something to counteract their losses.
Right.
To Amazon Prime and.
Amazon Prime is it's okay. I tried it for like 30 days, and it's just okay.
Well, they took, and I know you guys will be so concerned about this, but like Dora and SpongeBob.
Right.
Yeah. Netflix decided. But anyway, so
the show
Orange is the New Black.
Orange is the New Black, and it's the basic premise. Before you say how much you liked it, because I know you did, is kind of a yuppie woman who, in her 10 years ago, did a crime. Smuggled some drugs, smuggled some money.
She didn't smuggle drugs.
Smuggled some money. 10 years ago in a relationship she was in, and 10 years later she's got her life set up. She's getting ready to launch a successful business, has a fiance. she gets sentenced to jail, and that's where that's where the show picks up. Is when she's like the day before she's ready
Like
to go off to
18
jail.
months, right.
So
Yeah.
tell me, what did you think of the first episode?
I didn't watch any more episodes.
You didn't watch any more after
No.
the first one.
It was supposed to be a comedy, and it wasn't very humorous. I did talk with Sean about it, and he's on like episode 4, I think, and he said it is getting better. Like they're introducing like each episode, which is very long, by the way. It's
An
like
hour.
50 minutes to an hour.
Right.
They are just focusing on the story of each character, which is a format I don't think people are used to because they don't have to stick to the rules of normal television.
Correct.
You don't have to wait until next
a
week to
week,
see
right.
You can sit, and I'm probably quoting Sean, sorry Sean. You can sit there and watch the whole
season
all at once.
Right.
So it's a little different.
What didn't you like about the first episode?
It just, I didn't feel like there was a reason for me to keep watching.
Okay, that's all right.
Unless I wanted to see more boobs.
There were copious amounts, even in the first 10 to 15 seconds of frontal nudity. But it's a cable show, or it's not even a cable show. It's an internet show, so there's
Right.
they're not constrained by any kind of censors or anything like that.
Right.
I've been up to episode 6, and it does get better. They've the first episode and even the first half of the second episode.
Shock value.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. They're trying to hook the male viewers. There's no question there, and it's a women's prison, so there's plenty of stuff going on. But as each episode goes along, they do take one of the prisoners and kind of focus on them and give you their in flashback, give you their story, how they ended up in the prison itself, as well as keeping current with the main character and sprinkling in her stuff too. So it's a very much fish out of water type of show where she's completely unprepared to be around this class of people, let alone in this environment. And it's got some great character actors in it. Not all of them are very well known, but even the main character isn't. I've never seen her before.
There is one thing that I loved, and I can't remember her name. From that 70s show, she has black hair, but redheaded.
Right. She plays the love interest of the main character from 10 years ago that got her in trouble. And I don't know her name either because I never watched that 70s show.
I tried to remember.
She was
but it hard to
the tall
pronounce.
redhead or blondish girl in that 70s show.
And she was like sweet in there, but
Right.
it's like whoa.
Completely different. Completely different.
Yeah, I'd say.
So check it out, and if you don't like it, give it a couple episodes, and if you don't like it, then that's okay. You didn't cost you anything.
It's his fault if you don't like it.
It's you pay $8 to Netflix whether you like the show or whether you don't. So
whatever.
Yeah. Okay, that's TV for this week.
Okay.
And then we read some comics.
We did.
What did you read, April?
In the world of comics, we read. I read Red Sonja.
Red Sonja.
Yeah. This was pretty good. It's kind of like a medieval type feel. I guess the comic book world was, don't laugh at me, please. Gail Simone, she read this. She's had her hand in a lot of really cool things, so everybody's really excited to hear that she was coming out with this.
Right, she's a top-notch writer.
Yeah.
She is.
She's had Wonder Woman. I have notes.
Some Wonder Woman, some
I'm with
Batgirl.
Harrison's this week. Oh, awesome here. Yeah. And she even did some Deadpool, I guess.
Right.
And that's pretty awesome for a female writer. So the art in it is really, I think it supports the story really well. There's definitely some, it's attractive.
Gratuitous.
Yeah.
Right. No nudity.
She's kind of lovely.
It's still an all ages book, but it has she's wearing basically a chainmail bikini. Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
Comics are mostly for
the Amazonian type lovely lady.
But the story was okay for you?
Yeah, the story was all right.
And
In the beginning, they spoke in the medieval type language, so it was like, and I don't know if everybody does this, but do you have that like a different voice in your head when you're reading? Like I have to play a movie.
I do not have voices in my head, and if I did, I wouldn't have said it to anybody.
Oh shush. Anyway, I liked it. It was good.
You want to read the next one?
I have to wait a long time to read the next one.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I didn't feel like it was very much of a cliffhanger.
Okay.
Like there wasn't. It ends with, I think, her sister or some counterpart.
So more of an end of
showing up.
End of a story arc.
So yeah.
Okay, not wait till next week and see what happens.
Well, it's like
month.
next month it's just going to be, like a war scene a battle between the
Right,
two of them.
right.
So it's kind of like, well, I can
So
predict that.
two chicks fighting, basically. We
Yeah.
should pick that up.
Yeah.
Chick fight.
Yeah. So Gail
Okay.
Simone.
Chick fight next month.
Red Sonja.
Okay. The one I read a few, but the one I'm going to talk about real quick is Batman and used to be Batman and Robin up until issue 17ish or so when Robin is killed. So now it's Batman and Star of the Week. You know, it was Red Hood. This week's was Catwoman, or Catwoman supposedly died. And if you remember a couple weeks ago, I said she didn't really die. Obviously, she hasn't, but. It's a pretty good story. It's a good opportunity for like a team-up book, kind of like you have with Avenging Spider-Man, where it's Spider-Man and somebody else different every month. This is the same thing they're doing right now with Batman and so this week was Catwoman. But the underlying story that's going on in there is a new Robin, we think, maybe. It's Carrie Kelly, who is this young redheaded girl to be the first female Robin. If she turns into Robin, we don't know. But for comic fans, you know that the classic Dark Knight Returns, Frank Miller, Carrie Kelly was the little redheaded girl that became Robin in that. Well, she's been introduced here in the New 52, but not in a Robin way whatsoever. She is kind of adventurous. She's done a couple crazy things, but she's really kind of trying to insinuate herself into the Wayne household and try to catch up with Damian, who is Robin that died. She's there talking to Bruce about, where is he? I haven't talked to him in a long time, and he doesn't, for whatever reason, he doesn't want to tell her that he's passed away. He says that Damian is off studying somewhere abroad. So that's the underlying story, and then you get into the Catwoman stuff as well. So it's a good book. I'm a Batman fan of all the DC stuff. Batman, it would be the way to go for me, but it's a pretty good book. And you read a Batman book also this week.
Also, yes, Batman 66. I guess they had several licensing issues, beforehand to be able to finally release something like this.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. It was definitely retro. Even the artwork, which is done by Jonathan Case, is it him who's the? Oh goodness.
He's the artist.
Eisner winning, or is that?
Oh,
how you
Eisner
say
winning.
it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's like the comic Oscars.
Okay, so yeah, with the like little dots,
Dots.
the real
kind of
retro.
cartoony. Right.
Yeah,
It's
I
based
loved
on
it.
this TV show.
Yeah,
Same
and
characters.
It's, pow,
Right?
back to that.
Yeah.
I love it. It's fun. Definitely not heavy. It conjures up. Watching the old show.
Right.
Where
Did you feel like you're watching another episode of the old show? Is that how it was?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, even in the backgrounds, like the bat, whatever machine. I mean, that's the setting is.
That's cool.
And even they have the artwork of the '66 Batmobile,
Right.
which was also the replica was at Kokomo Con.
Kokomo
last
Con's coming
year.
up in October,
Yep.
and I don't know. I'm not sure if we'll have the Batmobile again, but we've had it in the last few years. So if
Yes,
you are a
I
fan
know.
of this era Batman, definitely come to the Kokomo Con, and there's a good
Yeah.
chance we might have that Lincoln Batman there again, Batman replica there again.
Yeah.
Nearby Logansport is the only place in the world that is licensed to
Licensed.
make these Batman replicas, these Batmobile replicas, and they
Of
do
the
it.
'66 only.
Right, and they bring it here for us, and you can sit in it and take a picture and everything. It's pretty cool. I flipped through it real quickly while we were sitting here, and I liked it as well. It had that kind of feel to it. The licensing issues you were talking about, it's a tough deal because that's a likeness of Adam West, and that's a likeness of Burt Ward, and all these actors that played these parts in the TV show had to probably get their fingers in the pie before
Right.
it was able to be released like that.
Yeah, and this episode, because that's how I read. It was an episode. It had the Joker and it had Catwoman in it. So
Which Catwoman? Was it like?
it was the
Was
old. Look at her.
Well, there was like
It's
four. There was like 4 or 5 Catwoman.
It's the appropriate one for. See,
Okay, that looks like a Julie Newmar Catwoman.
Well, I don't
there was
know
Eartha
their
Kitt. There was Julie Newmar.
the '60s look.
Okay.
Era appropriate. Gee. So
Okay, but you enjoyed it.
I really did enjoy it.
Will there be another one, or was this a one shot?
I don't know. I think there should be. I hope there's another one. I
Well,
liked
that's
it.
awesome. If you hope there's another one, then it was a
Yeah.
good book.
I'm hoping to see, more of the villains come
Right.
out. I thought it was awesome that they
Maybe
used
King
the
Tut.
Joker.
Maybe we'll see King Tut.
I was kind of hoping for, who knows?
Mr. Freeze, Mr. Cold.
Yeah, there's lots of them, and I think it's cool that they used the Joker right off the bat.
Oh, cool.
It's the Riddler, really,
Right.
not the Joker.
Right.
Because
Maybe Joker's next issue. Maybe they couldn't get Cesar Romero's money.
I just call him the Joker. The Riddler's Ruse is the name of this episode.
Nice.
Episode.
It's a comic book, April.
It's an episode when I read it, okay? I'm an involved reader.
All right.
So, yeah.
Okay.
It's called Part 1, so
Oh, well, there
I'm
you go.
guessing that
Okay.
there will be more.
Well, good. Okay. So next week we're going to be talking about the Wolverine, we think, and some different comics. I'm not sure on TV yet what we'll talk about, but there, like I said, there'll probably be a lot of TV and movie news to cover just from San Diego Comic-Con. So.
Right. So if you're interested in any of the comics that we spoke about this week, definitely check out Comics Cubed right here. I think it's 114.
121.
I thought it was 114.
Is it 114?
I don't
It's
know.
right on the corner.
It's right over
You
here.
can't miss it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And get
They
ready
know
for,
where-
get ready for Kokomo-Con. It's coming up
Yes.
October. It's the largest comic book convention in the state of Indiana.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I thought Gen Con was.
Gen Con is not a comic book convention.
Oh.
It's a gaming convention.
See, I'm just trying to
Read your
help.
book. It's the largest comic book convention in the state of Indiana, and 40,000 square feet of convention
Geeky
floor
goodness.
space. It's awesome. It's a great time. It's October 19th, and
Right.
you can also come over to Comics Cube and you can buy a ticket and get a T-shirt.
Right. He's got great packages going.
I don't know what you're saying. Okay.
I do. You can get like a. Shut up. You can get like a badge, a lanyard, your ticket, a T-shirt,
Right.
and
They have a
something
VIP
else
package, a
for
limited
like
limited
35
print. Yeah,
and $50 for the
it's a good deal.
Yeah. So anyway, we are in lovely downtown Kokomo at Pepper Whistle.
Delicious.
Wonderful, amazing, and they're so kind to let us film here. This has been GeekStorm. I'm April Thatcher.
Mike Harrison.
We'll see you next week.